Now, the royal family is gearing up for a trip to the US to celebrate America's 250th birthday next year, but there's, of course, speculation that there will be no reunion with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. They're reportedly set to be left out in the cold, according to sources that told Page Six. So, Andrew, tell us about this trip. Prince William and Princess Catherine, they're expected to join in the historic celebrations in July, but no reunion, apparently.
Absolute 250th birthday bash for America. Hurrah. As you know, we had a very successful time with Trump's visit to Windsor Castle. I was outside waving the Power Hour flag, as you know, and reporting on that. And during that visit, the President Trump invited King Charles and Camilla and the royal family to come over for a visit to celebrate the 250th anniversary. That is going to be a wonderful tour. Obviously, hoping that the king is well enough because he's obviously got his health scares and so on and so forth. But they have been invited for this state visit in April, and they're gearing up for this star-spangled trip to celebrate the 250th birthday. But Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are set to be left out in the cold, lots of people are saying, and basically because they are no longer working royals. That's the main sort of reason they're not going to be there. So the Declaration of Independence, well, they declare themselves independent from the working royals, and as a result, it's going to be a result of being left out in this cold on this particular moment. But you can guarantee we're going to hear all about it.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, Meghan Markle has been promoting her new Netflix series and, of course, promoting her jam on Instagram. Princess Catherine has made a rare personal statement showing support for people battling addiction. She shared that she wanted to end the stigma surrounding addiction. The Princess of Wales marked the start of Addiction Awareness Week in the UK, showing support for people battling addiction and called on others to do the same. Andrew, can you talk to us about what she said?
Yeah, I love this when people in the public eye can use their position to share and shine a spotlight on things that affect lots and lots of people. And she made a very powerful speech. I'll just give you a couple of excerpts from it. She said, "This Addiction Awareness Week, I am, as always, very glad to lend my support to this hugely important campaign. Through my role as patron of the Forward Trust, it has been humbling to see the significant progress made to better understand addiction and tackle the stigma surrounding it. But there remains much more to do. Addiction is not a choice," she continues, "or a personal failing, but a complex mental health condition that should be met with empathy and support. But still, even now in 2025, people's experience of addiction is shaped by fear, shame, and judgment. This needs to change." And well done for her for calling that out. And basically, this is the Forward Trust. It's a British charity that helps people with drug and alcohol dependence. She's been the royal patron since June 2021, and she signed this just with Catherine rather than her full name. And basically, what's really good, she's been returning to these royal duties since she stepped away from the spotlight briefly to deal with her cancer battle. She announced in March 2024 about the cancer battle and then underwent treatment, forcing her to take this break. But basically, she's been in September. She sort of said that at the moment she's cancer free. So all good news there. Well done her for shining a spotlight on that. I want us to be the generation that talks about these things, so the next generation doesn't suffer the stigma. So congratulations yet again to Princess Catherine for spotlighting this particular cause.
Absolutely, such an important cause. The Princess of Wales, has also launched a large-scale research project on the technofriends that she believes is damaging parents' relationships with children. So the Royal Foundation for Early Childhood says that more evidence is needed about what causes people to turn to digital devices rather than engage in family life, and to help really combat this problem. So this foundation is going to donate £100,000 to a study which it hopes will lead change by offering practical solutions for parents. Look, another important cause here, Andrew. What can you tell us about this?
Well, it's the first thing we touch in the morning and the last thing we touch at night. It's not our loved ones, but these things, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. People are addicted. And what she's saying is that phones are sort of wrecking parent childhood bonds, and she's launched this large-scale research project called this technoference, which she wants to sort of basically guard against, the interference by technology in people's lives. She said more evidence is needed about what causes people to turn to digital devices rather than engage in family life. And you see many people now in restaurants, in shops, and even sitting around the family tables are all glued to their screens
Aren't
rather than
they?
engaging in conversation. I'm sure you see that all the time. It's extraordinary how people date nowadays because they don't really know how to communicate. They don't know how to talk and so on and so forth. So she said that a whole generation, I support her on this as well, is more isolated, more lonely, and less equipped to form those warm, meaningful relationships that were the basis of a happy, healthy life. And you might remember last week, she urged business leaders to prioritize time and tenderness alongside profit and success, saying that she believed in restoring the dignity to the quiet, often invisible work of caring, of loving well. So it is interesting. I've spoken previously about the Wales' children. And none of them have phones. 12-year-old Prince George, apparently, William's spoken about this. It's he wants to maybe get a dumb phone, not a smartphone, but one is not connected to the internet, which he might need when he starts secondary school, because it's an ongoing conflict between them, because obviously a lot of their contemporaries have phones. But he's very, very clear that this is what they want them to, not be digitally dependent at this age. It was interesting. They refer to a new survey which has said that 62% of those in the UK, adults, said that they were sometimes, often, or always distracted by phones. Was a big survey on that sort of basis, or digital devices while spending time with the family. So again, I would absolutely endorse this sort of stuff. The more we can make sure that people are not digitally dependent, the better. And so well done, Princess Catherine, yet again.
Let's turn to the fallout with Andrew, formerly known as Prince Andrew, and now a council in Northern Ireland has begun work to change the name of a street named after Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. So Prince Andrew Way is going to be renamed, but Andrew, the council warns it's not going to be straightforward.
Well, Prince Andrew Way, no way, I could tell you what they want. So this is the Mid and East Antrim Council in Northern Ireland. They've begun work to change the name. Lots of residents complain, say, we don't want it to be called Prince Andrew Way now. So that's going to happen. What happens is there's slight complications, because there are things like bank accounts, so credit card, driver's license, utility bills, and so on and so forth. They're all dependent on getting the address right. And so what they've warned about, there will be these changes, but there will be those sort of impacts accordingly. So there is this sort of bureaucratic nightmare as a result of it. I mentioned previously as well, there's a pub very near to me called the Duke of York pub, which used to have a picture of Prince Andrew outside. That has been swiftly removed in the last few months, and people are basically revisiting on that sort of basis. But there are a few Prince Andrew Ways around the UK, and all of those are currently revisiting what they should call it.
Just finally on Fergie, Sarah Ferguson is tipped to take part in a bombshell interview. The ex-Duchess is said to have an appetite for revenge. She's reportedly not happy with King Charles's decision to evict her and her ex-husband, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, from Royal Lodge, of course, amid the scandal involving their connection to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew, what can you tell us about this? Is Fergie going to sit down for a bombshell interview?
Well, I think if you offered her a lot of money, she'd come and sit with us next week. That's what's going to happen, Gabriella. But no, she's certainly not happy. She's lived there for a long time. This 30-room Royal Lodge that we talked about, they're going to be hoofed out. I predict it's obviously going to be after Christmas now. There's discussions of where she may move next, and we've talked about that. But clearly, money's going to be an issue. It always has been with Fergie, and we've talked about various things. This is the problem with Epstein. She had to borrow money from him, the £15,000 to pay somebody off, and that as a result of all the sort of email leaks and so on and so forth. But she's in a terrible state at the moment, not least both mentally, which is awful, but also financially. So there is talk that a number of people are sort of swirling around her because she needs the cash. And there's every possibility that she may sign up even for Oprah again for $1 million. I don't know, that's been bandied about. She might do it for less than that. The big problem for all of this is obviously the king, because his whole reign has now been tarnished. with this particular scandal. He wants to move on so they can work on that sort of basis. So we hope that there will be good news for him. And indeed, his brothers down visiting various places. His sister, Princess Anne, is waving the flag around the world. And William's doing lots of great things as well, together with Catherine. So that's what they want the focus to be,
Yes.
rather than the continued scandal with Prince, or the former Prince Andrew.
Absolutely. Andrew Eborn, royal broadcaster and barrister, and of course, president of Octopus TV. Thank you so much for your time with us on Power Hour. So good to talk to you.
It's lovely to speak to you as always, Gabriella. See you next week.